I'm Alysa Procida. I'm the Executive Director of the Inuit Art Foundation. Thank you all so much for being here. I know that Art Fair is a very, very busy weekend for everybody, and so it really means a lot that everyone came out to see us and then hear from Couzyn and Niap, who are here. Before we get started, I would like to acknowledge that we're on the traditional territory of the Mississaugas of the New Credit, the Haudenosaunee, the Anishinaabe, and the Huron-Wendat. Sorry? Oh, thanks. I would like to thank every single one of you who's here in this room. We all have different relationships, but you're all a very, very integral and important part of our community. And without you, the Inuit Art Foundation wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be able to do everything that we do to support artists. And so thank you so much. And I'm going to clap for you. And thank you for clapping for yourselves. So, we have the distinct pleasure today to be here with two fantastic artists that the IAF has been working with pretty closely for the last year or two, along with some of their artwork. And so we're here with Niap and Couzyn van Heuvelen, both of whom have worked in Art Toronto this year. And I thought what might be interesting is for us to have a fun, informal conversation about your work and your practices. And after we are done, we're going to open it up for some questions from the floor. So if you have questions, please remember them, because I don't always. So I would love to start out by asking if each of you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your history with making art. And because I think this is an interesting question, when you first thought of yourself as an artist?
Sakut Nancy Sanders Munga, good job in Mutsanga, Meromatin, Hotamani, Tamani, Toronto Art Fair, Nakutsala, Sanangwataka, Takutsa, Nakumi. So my name is Nancy Saunders. I'm originally from Couzyn, Quebec, and I just want to thank you guys for having me here. To be here at the Toronto Art Fair is a very big thing for me, and I appreciate the support of everybody. So it's very interesting how it all happened. I've always been an artist in my own right, like very quiet and I always had like the detail to little things, how I would wrap like Christmas presents, birthday presents, I always put the extra little thing, and how I would set the table or make a plate of food. I'd always have a little composition going and make it always extra. My family calls it perfectionism, but it's art.
But you're kind of extra.
Yeah, I'm kind of extra. So what happened was I've always wanted to do art on the sideline. I always wanted to do it later. When I have time, I'll do artwork in the weekends, in the evenings when I finish school, this and that. And something happened very important in my family. I had my aunt who was very close to my aunt who passed away, and she had all these big plans. She wanted to go to accounting once she had paid off her debt. She wanted to travel once her boys were 18. She wanted to do all these things, and it never happened for her. And her plans will always remain undone. And that kind of hit me. So I said, what is it that I want to do now? And so I decided I'm just gonna quit everything. So I quit my job and I quit my plans on being an elementary school teacher, and I said I'm just gonna go do this artwork that I want to do. And so that was the beginning of my journey as an artist. It took a while before I introduced myself as an artist. The first time somebody asked me, what do you do for a living? It came out by itself, oh, I'm an artist. And I caught myself, I was like, yeah, I'm an artist. But it did take a while. So I have a cégep in social studies. I had taken a year off, and that's when my aunt had passed. And so I went back to cégep in visual arts. So now that's like the first kind of times I started sharing publicly my work. So it's been what, like 5 years now?
Yeah, 4 or 5, I think.
4 or 5 years that I've been sharing my artwork, and it's just kind of exploded. It's wild. Yeah, it's exploded to so much. Yeah, that's my experience.
And Couzyn?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had a kind of a bit of a similar thing where I was a little bit surprised when I started to kind of answer it like I'm an artist when people start asking like what I did, for a living. Yeah, for a living and or for as a career, and because for a while it didn't seem like it's not a real thing, like or people react strangely like. And I think it was just part of like being young too and saying like, oh, I'm an artist. And they're like, okay, but what are you really gonna do? Kind of thing. But
you want to get a real job?
I know, yeah. But I did it. It's a real job now.
Yeah.
But I grew up making things, and everybody in my family always makes things. And I have artists in my family also, but even those who don't consider themselves like artists still, make so much work and they're creative and work with their hands. And I grew up in a house that my mom collected a lot of artwork, Inuit artwork, and so I grew up surrounded by that as well, and in a house that that my dad had built. So I was surrounded by it all the time, and then it wasn't until later I kind of realized that not everybody makes things. Like not everybody makes things.
Not everybody's able to make
No,
things.
that they're not able to.
I am
maybe,
one
but-
of them.
Yeah,
So-
but I think I lived under the assumption that everybody makes things always. So it's always been kind of an important thing to me. And then I think when I kind of officially decided to pursue this was when my friends were applying to universities. And nothing really appealed to me. Like I tried to keep all my options open through school, and then at the end, nothing really appealed to me, and except for maybe I could, go to school for art. And then it was really the right choice. And then I think these last few years only have I really really tried to make a career of it. Like it's a singular thing where without having, too much. Like as it's not a secondary thing. It's like the main thing where all my time gets focused on art making now.
Yeah, and both of you, I think, touched on this, but you've had really remarkable years. I'd say the last 2 years for both of you has been really like a lot. Nancy, you just had a big mural at the Museum of History in Ottawa. Anyone has been there and seen it? Maybe, sorry, the Museum of Nature, not the Museum of History.
Yeah.
If anyone's been there in the Arctic Gallery, that's Nancy's work that's there. Couzyn, you've had big public installations, most recently at OCAD and Sheridan College, and you just got longlisted for the Sobey Award this year, which is a huge deal, yeah?
Thank you.
Nancy also won an award this year from the Inuit Art Foundation. And so, yes, it's true. So your work has become increasingly public, although I know Nancy started sort of making murals in Couzyn. How has that changed your relationship to your work, or the way it's perceived, or how you feel about your careers, and how has the last sort of year or two sort of been for you?
That's a big question.
Go ahead. Okay. I think in the last couple of years, I really understand now that there is an audience, and that I'm not kind of making work that, is only important to me. It's important to other people as well, I've come to realize. And, I think about, who my artwork will, who will see my artwork, and I have a clear idea that it's not just like a selfish thing to be making work and to be pursuing this. There's a real audience out there, and then I've got a lot of attention these last couple of years, and it's it's really, it is really nice. It's some success, but it's really exciting, and it's really nerve-wracking sometimes, and then it's happening really fast, and I'm really grateful that it's happening so quickly. I've had opportunities that not a lot of artists that I know have had, so I'm super grateful for all those opportunities that I've got.
Yeah, and you're only the third Inuit artist to ever be longlisted for the SOBI, actually.
Yeah.
So it's Market Liliordi, Annie Pudugu, and you.
Yeah, that's, I'm in good company. Yeah, really amazing. Yeah, and I mean, thank you to the Inuit Art Foundation too for all your support, because I've gotten opportunities from you, and I can kind of, really see. I think the first thing I did with you was Inuit Blanche in St. John's, and the opportunities that came out of that, it was really clear. I still talk to people, and they, this is the work that I had at St. John's, and it was the first time that I had shown it, and I made it for that festival, and I'm still surprised at how many people saw it there, and I still get people introducing themselves and saying, I saw your work in St. John's.
How do we get one?
So Letitia just left, but Couzyn is. Do you want
Pezicus Gallery is here. Pezicus Gallery, they're in booth C9.
C8. C8. I have it written down. It's C8.
C8. Oh boy. Yeah, no, they're booth C8. I have some of my work in there right now. So if you talk to Letitia or anybody at Pezicus Gallery, they have some of my work available right now.
Yeah, Nancy.
For myself,
Yeah, Pezicus. Yeah.
For myself, it was kind of like a journey of learning my culture as I move forward in my artwork. Because I am researching, and I realize that more people are seeing my work. I kind of have a role to promote Inuit culture and Inuit culture today. So it is kind of intimidating, but at the same time, there must be a reason why I talk so much. I have to. I guess maybe I am kind of meant for this, and my relationship with my artwork. I just want to make sure that it's true, that it's honest, and that it's not just to go along with the ride kind of thing. I want to share Inuit culture in its true way. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah. And you just had a sculptural installation
that
you did in Heuvelen.
This is wild. Then 4 years ago, I was in my apartment, and I was doing 5 years ago, I was doing these little watercolors, and my boyfriend said, "Oh, you should try to sell these." I was like, "Nobody's gonna want this stuff." And
Surprise!
And then now I have the first Inuit installation purchased by the Museum of Fine Arts of Montreal.
And how does that feel?
I mean, it feels so good. I mean, to put Nunavik kind of to show people that a lot of people have this image this. Just because they don't know of the first thing they think of Inuit is the igloo, the Inukshuk, and the dog sled, the stoic hunter, and they don't realize we're people that have changed, and we have different interests, and we're very very different today. So it feels good to be able to share that with people. And that was kind of my thinking process with the photos that I took, the series of photos that I took. I kind of wanted to show people that Inuit don't all have you know, dark skin, dark eyes, or we don't all like go hunting, and we, you know.
Some have very
Some
big,
have beards.
big red beards.
Red beards, yeah.
It's rare, but
Yeah, so
this guy too.
yeah, that guy. Yeah, and so I mean, it's a good feeling to be able to share with people. But it's what changed is that I really am working towards really learning and asking questions that I never thought of in the past, like about the tattoos, what it means, and I want to research more on that, sewing, the stitching, this and that. I want to make sure that I'm on point with the knowledge before, you know, reclaiming it and sharing it, because I don't want to make a mistake, right? And I'm still very young, and I've had a few of my mistakes in the past where I've shared like wrong information, and I that kind of like put me right back down to the ground and said, okay, this is like people are actually listening. Like I have to make sure that it's right, you know.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but for me too, it's you know, artwork is a way to explore that too. Like it provides an opportunity to actually you know, seek out that knowledge or do that research and to explore that in a way that you may not have an opportunity to otherwise. It doesn't come up in you know, your daily life, but like as an artist, you're kind of allowed to do anything, so you can, you know, explore your culture and you can you know, see where it leads, and you know, it can provide opportunities to do that. For me, that's been the case, and when you're saying that, that kind of struck a chord with it's my own kind of process.